Hi, this is Linda VD from Linda VD's Life Coaching and Counseling. And today's video is going to be about dissociation and dissociative identity disorder. So the first thing I want to do is make the clarification between the two. Dissociation is simply a coping mechanism, especially in early childhood. If the abuse is in early childhood, dissociation may be a tool that children naturally use. And so as your neurological system and as your body's growing, this becomes a way you cope with things. So in other words, if you're under stress or you're under a lot of pressure or something frightens you, you may tend to dissociate. And that is your way of coping. Dissociative identity disorder is a whole different diagnosis. It is not just a coping mechanism, though it is developed because dissociation is not enough. So it has to go even further, and it breaks into different personalities. So in other words, you're not just dissociating to, say, a happy place or a place that brings you comfort where you escape the abuse. You're actually splitting into different personalities in order to cope with the trauma and severity of the abuse. And dissociative identity disorder usually only happens under severe abuse circumstances. So how does that dissociative identity disorder work? We have different personas that we split into. Let's say a child is being abused, and at certain times, a personality will come up called the protector. And the protector will come out and just take over the person and either lash out violently or just get angry or just put other people in their place. It can manifest in different ways in different people, in men and women as well. There's usually a little child personality. Sometimes there is a humorous personality. There can be one or two different personalities that develop. It can be three or more in rare cases, but it depends on the person. It depends on the severity of the abuse, and it depends on what level of the spectrum the person is on. Because with dissociative identity disorder, you may know the different personalities that you have. They may all, come out at different times, but you don't black out when those personalities come out. You can still function normally. You can still hide personalities if you need to. You can have a certain personality that comes out at certain times. So if you're further along on the spectrum, you may black out. You may actually not know when other personalities come out. And this is usually when it can be identified, because the blackouts are a clue to the therapist that something is going on that's not normal. A lot of times, if you're on the higher end of the spectrum where you don't black out and you're just having the different personalities come out at different times, you can keep it hidden for long periods of time. And you may think everybody has those things in them, that everybody has different personalities in them. But this is not true. This is from trauma. This is all a result of trauma. So if you suspect you may have some issues with this, I want you to reach out. I want you to get help. Some of the symptoms of dissociative identity disorder are similar to that of other disorders like C-PTSD and other things. The real difference with dissociative identity disorder is the split in personalities, that you have distinct different personalities inside of you that you're able to access, or you have blackouts where other people are telling you that you acted a certain way or you said a certain thing and you have no recollection of it, these are all very good clues that you may be struggling with dissociative identity disorder. Some of the other symptoms are changes in levels of functioning, where you're functioning very well and then you switch into not being able to function at all. Depersonalization, where you feel disconnected from your own thoughts and feelings. Derealization, where you're feeling your surroundings are foreign, they feel odd, they feel foreign. Depression, anxiety, eating and sleeping disturbances, substance abuse, amnesia. This is a big one, especially if you're further along in the spectrum. So keep that one in mind, the memory loss. Hallucinations, where you're hearing things or you think you're hearing things, and it may be the different personalities in your mind. And another thing I want you to realize about this is that 70% of the people who struggle with D.I.D. commit or try to commit suicide. They try to commit suicide at one time or another, up to 70%. So this is a really serious disorder. Even if you don't have the amnesia or blackout, you still want to get help for this. There's lots of great therapies out there for it, and we can help you. If you struggle with simple dissociation, where you kind of go to your happy place or you go somewhere else in your mind and you're just not all there for a few minutes, that's simple dissociation. That's a coping mechanism. That's not a big issue. That's something that can be worked through in therapy. We can give you other coping mechanisms for that. But if you feel like you have a split in personality, if you feel like you have different personalities inside of you, reach out to me and let me help. Let me help guide you through it. No one's going to call you crazy. No one's going to put you in a hospital. You're not dangerous. I want people to hear this. There is no stigma around this. This is simply a wound from a trauma injury, usually in young childhood. Okay? So get that clear and reach out for help. Don't suffer by yourself. There's people here that can help you. So Linda Vitti from Linda Vitti's Life Coaching and Counseling, and we'll see you next time. God bless.